Bienvenidos. Soy John E. Kevin de Stuart Fails to Save the Universe. You're watching CNN Chile.
CNN Chile.
Hi, Kevin. Hi, John. I'm Camila
Hello.
Morandé from CNN Chile. I'm really glad we get to talk today about Stuart and Barry coming back in such an unexpected way. How does it feel to be back?
It feels great. It feels weird. It's exciting, and at the same time, it feels right.
Yeah, it's interesting. Part of it feels like just old times. You know, I'm working with Kevin again, I'm working with Chuck and Bill again, but the circumstances are so completely different. And, you know, there's no studio audience. So we actually get more jokes per page than on the old show. Because we're not waiting for the laughter to die down. We can just kind of motor through.
Yeah, and it's the same characters, but it's almost a different genre because it's just like a sci-fi comedy, rather than like a comedy like Big Bang Theory is more like a Friends, like about relationships. This deals with there is stuff about relationships in this, but it's more of it's actually a linear narrative. From the beginning of the season until the end, it's one story arc, which is different.
But with every episode being in a completely different universe. So yeah, it's a brand new thing. So it's a combination of old sensations and brand new ones. It's a unique experience.
What was your question again? Because I was going somewhere and then I forgot. I had something interesting I was going to say.
And just how does it feel to be back, I think? Was that right?
Great
yeah,
memory.
was that it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was going to say. There was something that Chuck did on Big Bang Theory that he would do on this show that was so like, oh, yeah, that's Chuck. That's what it's like to work with that guy. You know, sometimes like you say a line that's a joke and it doesn't quite land. And Chuck does this thing, you know something's about to get funnier when he walks in and his head is down and he's just sort of looking at the floor.
Yeah.
And you know that like when that happens, he is on the verge of making a scene funnier. And when I saw him doing that on this set, I was like, oh yeah, I've missed that guy.
And it's the tiniest little thing. He'll come in and go, you know, instead of a hurricane, it should be tornado. And then he leaves, and suddenly the joke is 100 times better. It's a tiny little change like that, because he's such a technician in that way. So it was fun to have that energy around all these visual effects and stunts and stuff.
Yeah, it was a weird dichotomy. Wow, I got to use the word dichotomy in a sentence. I'm still not even sure I know what that means. But because you see Chuck doing the Chuck thing, but at the same time, he pushed himself with this show. It's so different than anything he's ever done. It was interesting to watch him sort of wonder at green screens and special effects and all this weird pushed universe that was a challenge for him, while at the same time injecting the Chuck sensibility when appropriate.
That's a good use of the word dichotomy.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. This is CNN Chile. We can smart it up a little bit.
Yeah, you can just go with it. Well, Stuart is a comic book store owner who suddenly ends up in the middle of a comic book size crisis. Is that some kind of poetic justice?
That's a good way of putting it. Yes, I think so. Yeah. And the comic book store, I think I'm allowed to say, still exists in this universe, is Universie. And so he still has all the problems of running a comic book store in various universes. But on top of that, he also has to save the universe. So it's just like another thing. It's like, oh God, I got to do inventory. And also the universe might collapse. And it's he still has the Stuart anxiety, but it's just more intensified.
But it brings great things out of him. We see a bunch of new sides of all of the characters, actually.
Yes.
And we all get heroic moments that we simply did not get on the old show.
Yes.
And going to that, like, What was the biggest adjustment that returning to characters you already knew or placing them inside a genre that had mostly talked about but never fully lived in? How was for you as actors to go and explore your characters like in a bigger way?
We had stunts. Seriously,
Yeah.
we do fight choreography and stunts.
Yeah.
And on the old show, it'd be like, oh man, I got to do karaoke this week. This show is like, oh, I have a 2-page fight scene we got to figure out.
Yeah.
It was wildly a wildly different experience to take these characters and these actors out of their comfort zones.
Yes. I had so many things on this show I have never done as an actor, and they're things that you watch without giving away too much. Stunts and special effects and being hoisted up in the air and pyrotechnics, things that when you're watching a show as a regular viewer, you see them all the time and you don't think twice. And then you actually do a scene where there's like an explosion and it's actually quite frightening.
It's hot.
Yeah.
Explosions are warm. They're very, very warm.
Yeah, because it's real fire.
Real fire. Yeah. Yeah.
And the first time we did a shot where there was a big explosion, I remember thinking, wait, am I on fire? Because I'm suddenly extremely hot.
Yeah, it was. What was kind of fun about the show is that nobody was working in their usual spaces. Like all the comedy writers were dealing with green screen and special effects, and all the special effects people were getting a chance to be funny for the first time, and the stunt guys were getting a chance to do sort of comedy stunts, sort of Buster Keaton, Jackie Chan kind of stuff. So everybody was trying new things on set. So there was this wonderful creative energy coming out of everybody, and it was a delight to work on.
Amazing. John, Barry Kripke was often like a rival or disruptor. What changes when he becomes part of the team, like of this anti-Avengers like team?
Wow.
I'll take that.
Which Avenger is Barry? He's like obnoxious Hawkeye, I guess. The funny thing about Kripke is that he really doesn't change as much as he probably should, but he is forced, because it is an ensemble piece, he is forced into being more of a team player for, it seems, the first time in his career. So it's interesting to see him have to work with other people while still maintaining his grossness.
And because the team is forced to work with Kripke and we're together every episode, you can't help but form a kind of bond that wouldn't have been possible in the original show. And so that relationship actually develops in the funniest way.
Yeah, but it's interesting. There's a couple of arcs in the show where it isn't so much that they start to like Kripke, but they start to tolerate him a bit more. And it was fun to play that with the other 3 actors.
Thank you so much. Can you send a little greeting to CNN Chile and like Chilean fans to watch the series, please?
Sure. Bienvenidos. Soy John y Kevin de Stuart Fails to Save the Universe. You're watching CNN Chile.
CNN Chile.
Thank you so much. It was such a pleasure to talk with you, Bob. Bye.
Bye.